So your first introduction into the game was through Sugar Hill Records, right?
Introduction to the game. Well, introduction to learning the business.
Right.
Yeah, because my family was cool with their family from the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. So the father was, I told him I wanted to be in the music business, stuff like that. So he was, teaching me what certain words meant and stuff like that in contracts. And he said a lot, and the secretary I'm real cool with still, Dino. He knew a lot too. So, after the whole company kind of disbanded, I was still hanging around Dino and stuff like that. And like, he was just kind of like filling me in probably with things that I didn't know that I needed to know. So I could kind of carry on what I needed to do. And, I started getting clients, not really knowing the whole art, you know what I'm saying? But I started getting clients around '04 or something like that, '05, But before that, I might have been managing or trying to manage, artists, producers or something like that. But once again, I might have knew a lot, but I wasn't taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? There was people around me that had more resources, but I knew more. I mean,
got you.
They probably knew 5% of what I knew to this day. Like, they're not really competition with knowing, things like that. But, they had resources that was, getting them placements and stuff like that. And, once again, I just wasn't taking the business serious.
But you watched them like scam like a lot of people, right? That's like how you started to like learn more about like the business side of it.
Yeah, I didn't really watch them. I heard them tell me.
Oh, okay,
You know what
got
I'm
you.
saying? Like, yeah, I had this, I did that, things like that. That's what more happened. You know what I'm saying? And even then, I still didn't understand how that happened. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like I said, I had to read the books. I had to get ring experience. You got to jump in the ring and go and do rounds. You know what I'm saying? You just can't jump in the ring for the first time and think that, you're going to be able to be dominant. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, I had to get ring experience. And I think more of the ring experience kind of came from going to court and understanding the process, through court. And, I got good in court.
So
I got good in court. And then, I transitioned from one lawyer to another. I had a couple of lawyers. The first two lawyers I was using, I'm not trying to discredit them, but they don't know, they're not even in the world. They're not even in the same world as the lawyer I use now. And I'm sure they're pretty good and stuff like that, but they're not competition compared to my lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
got
Like,
you.
so she's injected me, with a lot of with a lot of knowledge, and I'm able to do a lot of filtering for her, to know if you got a case or not, just to make her life more efficient, you know what I'm saying, to see what we could carry over to her and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I got to the next level due to her.
So is it safe to say that Tretch was right when he said that I'm more feared than the Sugar Hill contract? It was really that bad?
Well, I think what happened with Tretch was he signed to Sugar Hill, or maybe it's another company. He had an affiliate company called Boname or something like that. They signed to one of the Sugar Hill affiliates, right? I forgot. I think the name of Tretch's group before Naughty by Nature, I think they were called New Style, right? And then they disbanded from Sugar Hill. And what happened was they became Naughty by Nature. And when the first album came out, Sugar Hill tried to use that contract that they had prior with them to try to get the publishing rights from Naughty by Nature. But I think that took some forgery and lies and stuff like that. And that's what Tretch was mad about because, like, they amended the contract and finagled it, to make it say certain things. And they also needed one person to lie in the court stand, and he wouldn't do it. So they never got the publishing rights.